Hello and welcome to our roundup of the European Parliament's latest plenary session here in Strasbourg. Among the issues topping the agenda, debate on the migrant crisis and how to secure Europe's borders, proposals aimed at cracking down on corporate tax avoidance, and new legislation that could help speed up the development of new medications. We begin with Europe's struggle with a relentless flow of migrants and how to share the burden. Against a backdrop of deep divisions within the EU, some MEPs sought to build consensus, a common EU-wide approach on how to care for asylum seekers, and at the same time defend Europe's open internal borders under the Schengen Agreement. That means no wide-open door to all migrants, which calls for both more humanitarian aid as well as better border policing, says Esteban González Pons, the EPP Group's Vice Chair for Legal and Home Affairs.
Miren, no es verdad que Alemania, Francia, Bélgica ya no tengan fronteras. Tienen fronteras, están en Grecia. Las fronteras de Alemania las vigila la policía griega. ¿O somos capaces de entender que la política de todos tenemos que resolverla entre todos o al final las naciones volverán a esconderse tras sus fronteras privadas?
Manfred Weber, the EPP Group's chairman, is also calling on all sides to find common ground in solving the crisis, noting an earlier speech that day in Parliament.
Als nämlich der estnische Staatspräsident gesprochen hat und zunächst darauf hingewiesen hat, wie wichtig Solidarität ist in Europa, dass jeder seine Lasten tragen muss. Und da gab es Applaus, hauptsächlich muss ich feststellen von der linken Seite. Und dann nachher gab es Applaus, als er dann gesagt hat, dass wir den Grenzschutz aktivieren müssen, dass wir Europa schützen müssen. Dann gab es hier von der rechten Seite Applaus. Und das ist genau unser Problem. Wir haben eine Blockade. Es muss jetzt gelingen, dass wir zum Europäischen Rat hin genau diese Blockade überwinden.
The debate in the European Parliament helps to set the tone for the upcoming EU summit later this month. Next, addressing the outrage over corporate tax avoidance with new measures aimed at getting companies to pay their fair share. It could still prove to be an uphill battle. The European Commission has adopted a corporate tax package aimed at ensuring more transparency. It calls on member states to share tax-related information on multinationals operating in the EU. It has legally binding measures to block the main tricks of the trade in tax avoidance, and it includes a new process enlisting third countries that refuse to play fair. One important principle in the law, that companies should pay the tax where they make their profits. The EPP Group's Burkhard Balz is a member of the Special Committee on Tax Rulings that had invited large multinationals to explain their tax policies. He says Parliament will likely approve the measure. The resistance could be among certain member states in the European Council.
From my point of view, it's a moment of truth in Council, and of course we would see the sincerity of the member states and there, if it's possible, to get this through Council. I'm very interested, as all of our colleagues from EPP here in Parliament, what Council now will do.
Finally, debate over legislation that could speed up the development of new wonder drugs. Set to come into effect in April, it has come under fire after one fatal incident in France. The regulation establishes an EU-wide system for clinical trials. One single application would be filed via a single EU portal online, including the benefits and risks of the new medicine. Approval or denial must come within 60 days. That would make the regulations more competitive with those in the US and Canada, and the Commission says it could save hundreds of millions in euros. The European Parliament, however, debated the regulation again following an incident in France. One person died and 5 others were hospitalized this month after undergoing a medical trial at a clinic in Rennes for the Portuguese drug company Bial. Françoise Grostet is an EPP Group Vice Chair and member of the Committee on Environment, Public Health and Food Safety.
C'est vrai que le décès d'un volontaire sain lors d'un essai clinique de phase 1, c'est évidemment un accident dramatique. Et nous adressons toutes nos pensées non seulement à sa famille, mais aussi aux familles des personnes hospitalisées. Fort heureusement, Monsieur le Commissaire nous l'a rappelé, nous avons un nouveau règlement qui doit prévoir des obligations de transparence très fortes, notamment en ce qui concerne les informations des essais de phase 1 et la publicité de ces derniers. Ce règlement doit être appliqué au plus vite.
Supporters of the legislation say European clinical research has been shrinking in recent years due to red tape and an increase in costs for applications and testing. The regulation, they say, would help arrest that decline and bring new advances in medicine. That's it for now from this Strasbourg session. See you next week in Brussels. And find out more about the activities of the largest political force in Parliament by checking EPP Group EU. Thanks for watching.